Today we're going to be talking about letting go of the past. Number one, identifying emotional baggage that's holding you back. One thing that really helped me was journaling my emotions. There was a time in my life where I couldn't even pinpoint what emotional baggage I was actually carrying. So what really helped me was just getting a journal and starting to just write without even thinking about anything. By the time I ended up finishing, I was like, okay, I'm done. And my hand was already hurting from writing so much. I felt like if I had just released 100 pounds, because sometimes we don't realize how much emotion we're actually carrying, especially if you're the type of person that you really don't open up about your feelings, or maybe you're the one that holds everything in and then you finally feel like you're gonna explode and you don't know how to deal with those emotions. Maybe you're the type of person that you really just don't trust anyone, or maybe the one that you really want to express how you're truly feeling. You don't find the words to be able to open up because you're scared about what they're gonna say. So one way that you can release emotional baggage is just by journaling it. And by you journaling it and expressing your true feelings without wondering about, oh my God, what are they going to say about this? Or what are they going to say about that? You have an opportunity to just journal everything on that sheet of paper. And then if you don't want anyone to ever find it, what I did was I ripped it up and I threw it away in the trash. I actually burned it. But I don't recommend you guys to start a fire. But I did learn that in a healing course of how to let go. You pretty much can write a letter to the person that has either hurt you. I did this one for my ex, my other ex, my mom. And even though my mom was my best friend, I really never knew that as a little girl, I was holding on to that emotional damage of abandonment, because my mom did leave us several times as we were little. And there was a lot of times that I felt like she had picked alcohol over her kids, or there was times that I felt like she had picked men over her children. And it was just because as a little girl, I was listening to so many people say so many things, and especially because we were interrogated a lot as kids. So there may be certain things that you're holding on that you just don't even realize that they're really deep down inside. In this healing course, they're like, well, you need to reach out to your kid's father and you need to tell him exactly how you feel. And I'm like, why am I gonna make myself look dumb? And she's like, do you want to free yourself? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, you definitely need to do that because you have kids with him, and for the rest of your life, he's literally going to be in your life because you guys share kids, right? And I remember me feeling like no, because he pretty much I felt like he didn't want me. And when we got into this argument, I'm like, if you're not happy here, then leave. And girl, when I tell you he packed up his bags in 2.2 seconds, he was out the door. I felt like, oh my gosh, he probably really never loved me. Maybe I'm not pretty enough. Maybe I wasn't good enough. So I started to think and come up with all these dumb ideas of why I was not good enough. So I was carrying that emotional baggage for years because it really started at the root of my childhood. All those experiences that we sometimes go through, especially if you have came from a household where your parents separated, it's really hard because I know that my kids did experience this, and that's why I want to share this with you. You have your parents that separated, there's a lot of pain, there's that anger in between them, but then the minute that the parent gets into a relationship, the other parent is talking down on them, but yet you're the one that left. So make it make sense. And then the kids go through this. So one thing that I can tell you guys is, and I tell my kids this all the time, writing release letters is one of the biggest things that has really helped me, because as a little girl, I really never knew, or maybe you don't really know how to communicate your emotions. So by doing it and journaling on a sheet of paper, ripping it up, burning it, letting it go, releasing it, you will feel so much better. I was carrying this emotional baggage that I was never good enough, but in all reality, the truth is that I really never loved myself. I never really learned how to love myself. I didn't have those skills because my mom truly never knew how to love herself. Do you get what I'm saying? My mom was always in search of love. So then what happened with me? I was always in search of love. I just wanted someone to love me. And especially because my father was not present, I still to today don't even know who my real father is. Because of that thing of 23andMe, I recently just realized that the emotional baggage that I have been carrying is who's my dad? Well, then on my birthday this year, I found out when my brother did his 23andMe, we don't have the same father. I have the option, do I want to carry that emotional damage? Or I can just say, for whatever reason, I don't know my dad, and I'm pretty sure that God is just protecting me from maybe the person he is, or maybe one day he will come into my life. For so many years, you guys, I've been carrying that of who's my dad? Why did my dad not look for me? How could you have a kid out there and you don't even know where that child's at? How could you go to sleep? I can't even imagine going to bed not knowing where my kids are at, So letting go of emotional baggage. That's what really has helped me. And still to today, you guys, I still journal about emotional, like letting go of those emotional things. And there's some times that I feel super, super frustrated and I cannot pinpoint like, okay, why am I going through this emotion? I start journaling and then it literally comes out. I'm like, oh, that's literally what's at the root of this feeling. So I hope that helps. The next thing I wrote was practice forgiveness for yourself and others. This is so big, you guys. This leads right back into the relationships with my ex. In another video, I talked to you guys about forgiving my ex, and it was because of the fact that I wanted to free myself. One of the things that I realized that I was like carrying on for such a long time. How could you leave me after my mom passed away and you literally just walked out on us? Like, he wasn't really even present there for the funeral of my mom. Like, I literally drove myself to my mom's funeral having a partner, and then we lost the business. He literally took everything. And the story that I had in my mind was that, like, how could you do this? Especially when you tell people or like people know about your business, they could literally be putting more fire, like they can be putting more wood to the fire. So you may start getting even more upset. Yeah, you're right, I shouldn't forgive him. But you know, the only person you're hurting is yourself. So for years, I was carrying this thing like, how could he have done this to me? Everything you put me through. It's very hard to forgive someone when your mom just passed away, your partner leaves you with no money, you lose your business, your store. We owned the shop in Riverside. And then my house falls in foreclosure. Then I get served with court paperwork that he wants to take my kids away from me. It gets even crazier, okay? It was just so many things that people would be like, how could you forgive this person after everything that we have gone through, that we've grown through? Still to today, he tells his kids, your mom was one of the only people that after everything that happened would still show up for me. So I chose to take on this thing of forgiving the people who have hurt me because I want to be able to be free and I want to be able to live in peace. I don't want people to live rent-free in my head, taking up negative energy that I can be using that energy for the greater good. So instead of sitting and thinking like, oh my God, the sun's like, do you see this light right here? I just realized it. That looks so beautiful, but I don't know if it's gonna mess up. Move really quick a little bit. It's crazy, you guys. When you start filming, you will start realizing how like everything kind of like matters when you're filming. Watch the lighting be way better right here. Okay, we're literally in the middle of a parking lot. So I took on this whole mentality that I'm not gonna let people live in my head rent free. I'm not gonna let people live in my heart with anger rent free, because I don't want my heart to be of anger. I want my heart to be of love, joy, happiness, abundance. Yes, he did what he did because he chose to leave me and not come back. I waited for him. I used to cry on the couch, you guys, waiting for him. I would call him knowing that he was with another girl, and I'd be like, we have kids together. Like, he'd be like, wow, why are you calling me? And well, because I love you, we have kids. And guys, my daughter was little. Emma was very, very little. Emma wasn't even 2 years old. It was a mess. It was a mess. But thank God he did that. Sometimes in the hardest things of our life, we don't realize that it's for the best thing that could have ever happened to us. I'll never forget me crying on the couch and waiting. Have you guys ever been waiting for them to call you back? And it's like you're waiting, and I'll never forget, I had the phone right here and I was laying on my couch, and I remember waking up and it was already morning, and I look at my phone and not even one call from him. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Raquel? Why are you allowing him to do this to you? And it was like, it was consuming my whole entire life, like just trying to get back with him. Even though it was like the worst thing that could have happened to me, it was literally the best thing that could have happened for me and my kids. Moving into number 3, decluttering your home and your workspace. One thing that I did, you guys, I got rid of everything from my exes, everything, okay? I know that this is probably like not the type of video you guys have seen, but I'm gonna tell you what has helped me, okay? Everything that reminded me of my ex, I got rid of them, except for my kids, of course. Those are my pride and joy, girl. Those are my pride and joy. But everything, the clothes that he would buy me, all my True Religion jeans, I got rid of everything. My 7 jeans, because my ex would buy me like bougie stuff, and I'm really not even a bougie girl. Like, I'm more like a, oh, if that looks good, like Ross, Target, you know, mom life, right? Everything except for my Gucci purse. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't get rid of it. I didn't get rid of my tote bag, but those are like, I may eventually sell those or something. But I got rid of everything. When I'm telling you everything, I threw away all my underwears, I threw away all my bras. And yeah, there was a point in time I only had 2 bras, and I was okay with it. I would wash and rinse, wash and rinse. I didn't want to continue that energy in my home, because we don't realize that energy does exist. So decluttering and letting go of things that were holding holding me back. I did not get rid of photos because that I think is something that's priceless, especially because we do have kids together. But everything that had to do with my bras, my underwears, my clothes, I got rid of all of it. I got rid of my bed sheets. So if you've ever gone through like a separation, I highly recommend you to clean that energy. That way you can allow good energy to come in to your home. The next one I wrote down was number 4, replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. We talked about this in, I think, video number 1. I continue to tell myself I am strong, I am powerful, I'm abundant, I'm an exceptional mother, I'm an exceptional wife. Why? Everything you think you're not, reverse it and turn it into something that you want to be. As an example, you don't feel confident. You're a person that you have a lot of insecurities. I am confident. You think that you're not pretty? I am beautiful. You think that you're not strong? I am powerful. You think that you're not good enough? I am enough. You just start turning what you think you don't have into what you could have. So for instance, everything that I thought I wasn't, I started to say, yo soy una mujer feliz, exitosa y buena madre. So what does that mean? Yo soy una mujer feliz. I am a woman who's happy. Soy una mujer que es feliz, exitosa. Exitosa is successful. At the time that I started to do my healing, I felt like I was broke. My credit was a mess. No child support. I want to say a little disclaimer. I am a mother of 6 now, but as a mother of 5, I did it all without child support. You guys, when there's a will, there's a way. And God will always open up a door for you, girl. Regardless of whatever you're going through right now in your life, if you have kids, if you don't have kids, if you're broke, if you change your mindset, you can completely change your life. Soy una mujer feliz, exitosa y buena madre. Buena madre is a good mother. Why? Because I had this false belief that I wasn't a good mom. Why? Because for so many years since I was a little girl, I would always hear people say, oh, your mom this, your mom that. My mom was a powerful woman. My mom was a woman that she had more huevitos than most men that I know, okay? Because regardless of whatever my mom went through, she still came out on the other end trying to figure it out how she was going to make ends meet. If you've ever been a single mom or you've ever struggled, maybe like back in the days when there wasn't as much help as there is today, that's why we have to forgive our parents. You feel that your parents haven't done the best. Your parents did the best with what they knew they could. So learn to forgive them. Learn to give them a hug. Thank them. Look at what we have gone through as adults. Could you imagine the hard things that we've gone through? Now think about your parents when there was not as many resources that there is today. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, replacing with the empowering beliefs. And I remember that my kid's dad would always tell me, no one's gonna want you. Oh, they're only gonna want you for one thing. Girl, he wanted me with all 5 kids and some. Okay? And some meaning my bills, my carpet, all my debt. Like he's a man of a man. Let me tell you, baby girl. So when you start raising your standards and you start believing in what you are deserving of having, let me tell you, doors, windows, everything will start opening up for you. So don't ever let anybody, that was a little dramatic workout. Don't ever, ever, ever let anyone tell you that you're not deserving of being loved. Don't stop believing. Don't let society tell you that there's not good people out there still, because there still are. The next thing that I wrote under letting go is writing a release letter to let go of old pain. This is something that I did for my ex multiple times, because my first ex, you guys, when I tell you he did something right here, I don't know how you give someone so much power, but I did, and I'm still dealing with some of that stuff because a lot of my negative body image issues came from my ex. One of them used to cheat on me all the time. Okay, he just said that he loved me, he was in love with me, but that he loved being with women. Okay, and I thought that in our family, you know, the first guy that you're ever with better be the last one, because my siblings are still to today still married. I'm the only one that's the loca of the family. So if you're the black sheep of the family, or you think that you're the black sheep of the family, you're not. You may be comparing your relationship or your life to somebody else that, oh my God, they've been married for 20 years, for 30 years. She has all of her kids from the same father. Oh my God, 25 years together, golden years. Oh wow, you know, all this stuff, right? Do they still like each other? Do they respect each other? Are they not just with each other because it's comfortable? Are they just not there because he's paying the bills and she doesn't know how to get out? Don't compare your life to anybody else. Don't ever make you feel bad if you are like me, that you do have children from different men. And I'm going to tell you why. Am I putting it out there like, wow, queen thrive, yes, have different baby daddies? No, I'm not saying that. But here's what I will let you guys know. I don't know, but I'm going to go with it because someone needs to hear this, okay? We change. We go through different seasons of our life. Hold on, there's like a hair on my face. We go through different seasons in our life. Who you liked at 15 is not who you're gonna probably like at 25. And if you found your Prince Charming the first time around, congratulations. I am so proud of you, babe. I pray to God that you are still happy, that you guys love each other, that you guys respect each other. I pray to God that you guys are still doing your date nights, okay? If you have ever gone through relationships and you're like, this ain't for me, or they left you, whatever, and you do have kids, we all grow. and sometimes we outgrow people. So don't ever let anyone make you feel bad because of a decision that you've made. It's your life. Do you think that I got into this relationship thinking, wow, I think that we're gonna separate? Oh my God, yeah, let's like just go 11 and a half years. Let me give you 11 and a half years of my life, and then eventually, you know, you just leave me, or I get tired of it and it's like the last straw, the last time you put hands on me and I'm done. No, don't ever let anyone make you feel bad, okay? You know that my ex was calling me Octomom? Remember the mom that had a bunch of kids? He was even calling me that, you guys, okay, when I got into my second relationship. And oh yeah, Octomom, that's what he was calling me. And I'm like, Octomom, how are you gonna call me Octomom? I wasn't trying to raise these kids on my own. You should have never put hands on me. You get what I'm saying? So then you get into another relationship and you think, oh my God, God sent me this man, yes. And this guy doesn't hit you, he doesn't like, but mentally plays old games with you. And you know when was my last straw with him? When he got upset with me because he told me, why am I over here having to pay for you to buy clothes for your kid? Why doesn't the dad pay it? Excuse me? And then it got even worse. After I had my fifth baby, and I was on maternity leave, I told him that we owned a business, and I told him that I wanted to stay home with my daughter, right? For a little bit longer because I was breastfeeding. I breastfed her for 2 years. And he's like, I'm not going to go get a minimum wage. You need to go back to work. And I'm like, wow. So little by little, I started picking up like, okay, this ain't right. Like someone that loves you is going to do whatever they can to help you, you know? I wasn't planning on going through different relationships like that. But you know what? Praise God. And I'm happy because there's some people that are stuck in relationships and they can't even stand their partner. They hate going home. I love going home. So don't ever make anybody make you feel bad because you've gone through a couple of relationships. Number 5 was that the release letter, and just letting it go. I have written a release letter to multiple people, and every time I feel like, okay, there was this pretty recent incident where something had happened. I wrote a release letter, and I was like, because I can't say it here on the internet. I don't want to say it here on the internet. And after that, you guys, I just felt so relaxed, and you sleep so good. I also have to say this about the emotional damage. I almost forgot. Okay, learning how to forgive yourself. I forgive myself for allowing myself to stay in a relationship that I know was not good for me. I forgive myself for allowing people to walk all over me. I forgive myself for the times that I have talked bad about myself. I forgive myself for the times that I have looked in the mirror and I haven't been happy with what I have seen, because I know that God created me to be perfect in His image. Forgiveness. Don't forget to forgive yourself in releasing emotional baggage that is holding you back. Sometimes when you stop and you think, I forgive myself for what I actually have done, you will free up so much space and you will be able to live the life that you truly deserve. All right, you guys, that is all. I hope that you guys are liking these videos. And if you are, consider subscribing if you're not yet subscribed. And if you're a real one, leave me a comment down below. What's one thing that you're like, you know what? This is something that I need to also let go of. Consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed, and turn on that post notification. That way you never miss another upload. And with that said, you guys, I love you guys so very much. God, goals, glory, and growing. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye. I love you.